You got to fix your mentality. Your mentality and your mind is what starts everything. It's the start of everything. It's the start of your actions, start of your habits, and it will reflect your life. Your mind is the main culprit behind everything. So if you want to have good of something, you got to have a good mind. You have to fix your mind. See, everybody want a good life, but people don't realize that a good life, all a good life is a reflection of good habits. And in order to have good habits, you have to have a good mindset. How can you do anything good if you are never thinking in good ways? You can't. This is why you notice people with a terrible mindset have terrible lives. People with good mindset have good lives. And then when they get a good life, it reinforces their thought process and vice versa. When you have a bad mindset, you have a bad life. When you have a bad life, it'll reinforce those thoughts, making that thought stronger and effectively making the effects of those thoughts stronger. So yes, it's hard to reverse that process, but it's very possible. People do it every day. And a main part that is the most effective way to reverse that process is what you're constantly feeding your mind. You ever heard the term "you are what you eat"? Goes the same with the brain. Your brain is what you feed it. And the only thing you can feed a brain is thoughts. What are thoughts? Constant affirmations. The way you think, what you're telling yourself, what you hear and see is everything that the brain consumes. What you tell yourself on a daily basis consistently is who you will become. You have to be more positive than negative to become positive. If you're a little positive but then mostly negative, you will become a negative person still, and it won't work. You have to be very careful when doing something like this. And yes, it's slightly like a trap, because you'll notice whether someone's good, have a good life or a bad life, or a good mentality or a bad mentality, they subconsciously speak in that way unknowingly. And so when you're in the process of doing a reversal of that, you have to constantly be cautious of what you're saying, which can be hard because we've been speaking since we were young. And so it's like breathing. We do it without concentration, which is dangerous if you're in a negative state of mind. It will always start out hard. Everything starts out hard, but what you'll realize, and the most spectacular thing about the brain, is when it comes to discipline or doing something you don't want to, it starts out hard, but your brain adapts. When you're doing something you don't want to do, but you do it anyways, over time, eventually, it will become easier. Now, that does not mean it'll be a cakewalk, but after a while, your brain will find a way to make discipline enjoyable in life. See two types of people. The first person is the person that just can't get off the couch. And then they look at people who do hard things every day and they just wonder, how the fuck are they getting that done? Or vice versa, the people who are doing hard things every day will look at the people sitting on the couch and be like, how doesn't it bother your soul that you sit there every day and do nothing? And you realize it all comes down to the condition of the mind. Not the mind itself, how the mind was conditioned is what it'll come down to. And reconditioning it is the key. Not doing this so I can get this. Don't focus on that right now, because you're clearly having the same pattern over and over again of having a burst of motivation, but then 2 weeks later you quit on it. It has something to do with your mind. Your mind has been hijacked by yourself, and you have to regain control of it.